Hello, INB101! Welcome to the second to last week of class. Oh my goodness, time has flown by, has it not? So, everybody, I know you're all busy with other classes. That's why remember, there is no final here, alright? You just have to put together that last project, okay? So, the simple thing, and you've heard me say this a bunch of times, so I'm risking repeating myself here, but you take all those memos that you've written, okay? Remember how we started out with sort of a couple weeks of intro, and then a couple weeks of methodologies, and then a couple weeks on all the other sections that you did that first part to as you were giving me your updates, all right? Those are parts of a research paper, okay? So, intro, methods, data, results, another way of putting that one, discussion, conclusions, references, all right? That's the bare bones of a research paper, okay? So what I want you to do is, you should have been doing this already, because you heard me say it before, is put together all those pieces. Now, do not just slap them one after the other, after the other, after the other, all right? That is not a research paper. All right, that is a collection of memos, and I do not want a collection of memos. Okay? Massage it. Make it flow. Use your own words to put these parts together. If you repeat yourself, don't be repeating yourself. Edit that part out. Okay? But make those segments coherent. Okay? All those sections have to be labeled in your final project. All right? If you're really wanting to have some fun, you can make an abstract right at the end when you're done with everything. That goes at the very tippy top. It's basically like a very long TLDR. So you can try practicing that. For your citations, please practice in-text citations. So when you use a reference from your annotated list, remember to put it in there, all right? So author date, because you've been using APA format at the bottom, okay? In general, those are, the APA format for those is alphabetical, so alphabetical by author. And then if you've got two of them, the author of the same name, then it's by date, okay? That's why the in-text part is important to have that date. So, in general, put it all together. This part's kind of easy. That gives you literally like 80+% of your paper right there. 80+% of your final project. At the same time, now that you've stopped collecting your data, look at your Excel sheet. At the top left on that ribbon, top right on that ribbon, there's a thing called a summation symbol. All right, you should remember that from math. Looks like a really kind of flattened 3. Dun, dun, dun. All right. From your perspective, no. Okay, look at that, or look it up in the help file. Okay, like how do I sum up these things? You can also try running some basic statistics. You may have to download the statistics package for it, but you can also do it by hand. It's not that hard because you don't have that much data. So once you get your total, like the summation is your total, so like you total up how many birds of that type that you saw throughout the entire experiment, and then just divide by how many days of observations that you have. Okay, there's your average for birdies, for that type of birdie, or clouds, which we've got high clouds today, and we've got some funny winds. So and it's the afternoon, and all our birdies are kind of asleep and hiding at this point because it's hot out here. Even with the wind, it's kind of oppressive. High UV day today. Anyways, so just look at some basic statistics. Like start comparing. Like, well, all right, on this series of days, well, what was it like? I saw these birds of this type. Think about why you're seeing. One of the first questions to science is why. So why are you seeing what you're seeing there? And take a look at your references. that and your introduction section. That will help you explain why. Okay? So, let me know if you have any questions. Keep at it. You're almost there. You've got a couple things due this week. Your discussions should probably be already done because this one's a little bit late. Anyways, let me know. Thanks for being here, guys. Cheers. Oh, in terms of late work, by the way, next week, all right, I will not accept late work really too much past this weekend. Okay? You have to be talking to me like unannounced late work. You have to be talking to me. You have to have a plan to get it in. If you do not, okay? Because I don't want, some of you owe me more than one thing. I don't just want you dropping this on the last day of class like, oh, here's my 10 assignments that I owe you. Dude, not cool, all right? Not cool. That's not how things work, okay? You can't do that. So please don't do that, all right? Because you put me in a quandary. I want you to learn the material. I want you to practice the skills, but I also want to keep what's left of my hair, all right? So thanks, everybody. Let me know what questions you have. Cheers.